So Walmart is warning it will raise prices because of the tariff. So finally we have some company, just one, willing to take the hit, willing to just be like, hey look, y'all, I ain't even gonna lie. Your life ruined. Your finances ruined. Your future ruined. Only one company's willing to be like, look, y'all, I ain't gonna lie. I ain't gonna lie, bro. Like Walmart is just keeping it 1 million with us. They're keeping it 1,000. Like, look, y'all, it's over with. When Jeff Bezos tried to put the little tariff information under products on Amazon, Trump sent Caroline Levitt out there like a stooge to sit there and accuse Jeff Bezos of being a Chinese agent, which is like, okay, like crazy work. So Walmart warrants its prices will rise because of the tariffs. And surely this is in no way, shape, or form Donald Trump's fault. Walmart, the world's largest retailer, said President Donald Trump's tariffs are too high, and it will raise prices on some items as Trump's global trade war increases the company's costs. We will do our best to keep our prices as low as possible, but given the magnitude of the tariffs, even at the reduced levels announced this week, we aren't able to absorb all the pressure given the reality of narrow retail margins, Walmart CEO Doug McMillon said Thursday on an earnings call. The higher tariffs will result in higher prices. Bro, like we've been over this a gazillion times on this channel. I'm not going to sit here and explain the dynamics of tariffs like over and over and over again. I just think it's funny. A nigga who just took a $400 million jet from Qatar is now like relegating the rest of the country to poverty, and MAGA's just cool with this. I'm genuinely I'm curious as to how far he can drag this out before Trump supporters finally admit that maybe something's wrong between Medicaid cuts, recollection of student loan debt, tariffs, the stock market going this way, that way, every which way. I don't know how long it's going to take before Americans realize this nigga actually is the Antichrist, but when they do, peak content, it will be peak content. Tariffs on China are raising costs on electronics and toys, McMillan said, and some food costs are going up from tariffs on Costa Rica, Peru, and Colombia. Now, MAGA's instinctive response is, well, why don't we just make it in America? Checkmate, liberal. Oh, checkmate. In their mind, that's checkmate. Retarded people. Fools. The reality is that even if we were to make this stuff in America, it would still be more expensive. Like, they don't realize American labor is more expensive than Chinese labor. And Donald Trump cannot tariff the country, recollect student loan debt, what else? Destroy the stock market, all this mayhem, and then tell the American people, oh, by the way, I'm docking you guys. I'm controlling how much you're paid now. Communism. I'm controlling how much you're paid now. And yeah, you're going to work in these factories and produce these goods for X amount of money that I decide you're going to get to make up for the fact that we're no longer importing cheap goods from China. Toodles, toodles, like granddad from the Boondocks. Toodles, like that's the reality of what could happen. MAGA doesn't realize that not every food item we can just have. There's some things we don't grow here that we have to import, and importing is great. It means that we're swimming in not money, but like, you know, we're prosperous, right? Things that we don't have, we get to import and taste and try and eat. Like it's a good thing to be interconnected with the rest of the world economically. But in the mind of MAGA, we don't need the rest of the world. They're brown. In their mind, it just doesn't like chocolate, you know, all of these different, they don't care. In their mind, it just doesn't matter. Like it is anything you could think of that we import from South America, they don't care. They literally do not care. They could not care less. The jams we import from Europe, the wine, the whatever, they don't care. In their mind, it doesn't matter. In their mind, it's always going to be there. Let's just talk about the reality of this. In MAGA's mind, everything that we've enjoyed for the last like 6 or 7 decades in America, you know, in the wake of our like prosperity after World War II, it's just supposed to be that way. It's just always supposed to be that way. And if we bully the rest of the world and put tariffs and everything and destroy the economy of the entire planet, it'll always remain the same. Goods will always be cheap. Everything will always be on the shelf. We'll have access to all of the, you know, luxuries and delicacies the world has to offer. It'll never change. It'll never end. In their mind, it's impossible. Now, reminder of what it said there. It said electronics and toys are going to go up, And, produce from Latin America, that's also going to go up in price. So food, electronics, and toys. If you're trying to live out the American dream, you're trying to have your 2-story home, you're trying to have your wife and kids, your picket fence, your dog, food being more expensive, electronics being more expensive, and toys, I mean, that's crazy. Crazy. You can get a new TV, and that's crazy. That's insane. But this is what Donald Trump is going to do, and he does not care. He doesn't care. And the price hikes will begin later this month, is what they're saying. I'm concerned that the consumer is going to start seeing higher prices. You'll begin to see that likely towards the tail end of this month, and then certainly much more in June, Walmart Finance Chief John David Rainey said in an interview with CNBC Thursday. Many companies have been raising prices to mitigate cost increases from the 10% universal tariffs on every product entering the United States and higher levies on Chinese goods. Washington and Beijing reached an agreement to lower the tariffs this week, but the United States still charges a 30% levy on most goods coming from China. The reason why none of this matters, see, Donald Trump plays this game of creating problems, then solving them and making it seem like he accomplished something. The reason why none of what he did here matters, and I'm sure you guys already know, is because there were no universal tariffs on every single good before. Donald Trump chose to institute that. Even if you lower it from 145% to 30%, it's still significant enough to where it will damage the consumer. It will destroy the consumer. You haven't fixed anything. You've just caused destruction. But he plays these games so well, and the American public continues to fall for it. Donald Trump fixed our trade with China. No, he did not. He just lowered the tariffs he put in place on his own. That's it. But with these people, there's nothing you can say, nothing you can explain, nothing you can do. It's unfortunate. It's sad. It really is, but that's unfortunately the reality in which we live. These niggas don't listen. They don't care. Can't nobody tell them nothing. And we're really just going to have to wait until the United States heads toward a recession and possibly even a depression for these people to wake up. And of course, they probably won't even blame themselves or the people who aided and abetted Donald Trump. They'll just blame Donald Trump under the delusion that, as long as Donald Trump's not around, Republican policy, conservative policy will work just fine. Crackheads. Crackheads.